Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Al Shai Bashim Kakodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, The Hell Doctrine is Spreading, or The Hell Doctrine Demon is Spreading. Also, all of the elect will not die to get to the kingdom. Now, the reason why I'm going into these two topics, we were listening to the leader of IUIC, and he was going into a lot of precepts, hitting good points, a lot of precepts that we agree with, but almost at the end, and you can actually watch the video, this should be up from last night, he started going into, well, he touched on the hell doctrine that if you're not right, with the Most High, and you're an Israelite, you're going to wind up burning in hell forever. And he went to certain precepts to back up his claim, but it didn't mean what he said it meant. I mean, you got to watch the video. Like I said, maybe the last, 15 minutes or so. At first he was on point. He was hitting a lot of things going in. We didn't say, we didn't say anything that he went off on this and he went off on that. But then we said, look, he went off on that. Oh yeah, he definitely went off on that. But there's another thing that he's been teaching, which is part of the topic of this video, is that in order for you to make it to the kingdom, you have to be, in not so many words, you have to be called, then chosen, be a part of the elect, and you have to die. And you have to die. Like I said, listen to the video, and you see what I'm saying. Because so you don't say I'm putting words in his mouth. He definitely pushes, make no mistake about it. He's definitely pushing a hell Roman Catholic Church doctrine of hell, or the Christian doctrine of hell, because all Christian denominations that stem from the Roman Catholic Church, or the RCC, they all have the same Caesar. They have the same image of Christ, which is a portrait of Caesar Borgia during the time of the late 1400s. Michelangelo had drawn pictures of Caesar Borgia, which was the son of Rodrigo Borgia, which at that time was Pope Alexander VI of Rome. But the power was coming out of Spain at that time. It wasn't coming out of Rome. See, when you go back to the Roman Empire, which was the first beast, and the first beast was, wounded, Revelation chapter 13, with a deadly wound, and the wound was healed. When it came back into power, the power did not come from Rome. The power came from Spain. Even though you had Spain, you had that part of Europe. But that awakening, when they went to the New World with Christopher Columbus, that was all. That activity was out of Spain. And the Borgias were Spaniards. They were not Romans. And you can look it up and prove me wrong. Double check me. But they came out of Spain. The king and the queen, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, Torquemada. Torquemada was in charge of the Spanish Inquisition. If you look up the Spanish Inquisition, as a matter of fact, let me look it up. They forced a Christian doctrine on you, and part of that doctrine was hell. the Spanish Inquisition. Okay, let's get a little bit of information here. All right, let's start with this one. All right, Spanish Inquisition, the tribunal of the Holy Office of the Inquisition, commonly known as the Spanish Inquisition, Inquisición Española, was established in 1478. This is when Caesar Borgia was living. Rodrigo was the Pope at that time, his father. by the what? By the Catholic let me do this. By the Catholic monarchs, King Ferdinand II of Aragon and Queen Isabella of Castile. Now, Aragon and Castile, which means like masculine house, big house, a castle. Casa, Castile means a masculine house, big house, which is a castle. They had an arranged marriage to get together. So, see, marriages, fathers took over as to whether the daughter's going to marry the son, and they would, one man was rich or a king, another man was rich or a king, and what they would do is they would have their daughters. One guy had a daughter, the other guy had a son. They would bring them together, and that would ultimately bring those two kingdoms together. That's where you get marriage comes from the word merge. So when Ferdinand and Isabella got together, that kingdom became bigger. It was Aragon and Castile. So anyway, let's do this. What happened in the Spanish Inquisition? Spanish Inquisition was a judicial institution that lasted between 1478 and 1834. That was going for a while. Its ostensible purpose was to combat heresy in Spain. Remember, like I said, the king and the queen came out of Spain. A heresy. What is a heresy? The word heresy is in the scripture. Heresy is somebody that doesn't go by sound doctrine. So they had their own doctrine. Part of the doctrine was hell. It says, but in practice, it resulted in consolidating power in the monarchy of the newly unified Spanish kingdom, which was Aragon and Castile. So they had an official religion. They said you can't be Islamic, can't be a Jew, you can't be none of that. You can't be an atheist. You got to be a Christian. And if you're not, we're going to torture you and make you a Christian or banish you. That's why when the U.S. Okay, now remember the Inquisition went all the way into the 1800s. When was the 13 colonies formed? The key year was 1776. And the first amendment, which came, I believe it was 1787, if I'm not mistaken, you had the Constitution, you had the Declaration of Independence, you had the Constitution, you had, and then ultimately you had the amendment, the 10 amendments. Then there were more than 10. And the very first amendment was freedom of religion. It said the state, in other words, separation between state and church. And the reason why they did that, because over there in Europe, they had one official religion, which is their form of Christianity. Okay? It says, practice it, resulting in consolidating power in the monarchy of the newly United Kingdom. Its brutal method led to widespread death and suffering. Because if you didn't, if you was an Islamic, you had to denounce Islam. You had to denounce Allah. If you were a Jew, you had to denounce that. Now, Christopher Columbus was a Jew. When you read the information on it, his real name was Cristobal Colon, and he played like he was a Christian. He went to the church. He did everything he was supposed to do to appease the people over him, namely the king and the queen. But he was really secretly practicing a Jew. And you had crypto. You had Moors that embraced the religion of Islam, but a lot of them accepted Christianity, but they were secretly worshiping Allah. It says a century later, during the Spanish Inquisition, and like I said, this is from 1478. Oh, wait a minute. 1478, 15, 16, 17. We're talking almost 350 years of this Inquisition. Come back. It says the Spanish Inquisition was a judicial institution that lasted between 1478 all the way up into 1834. So we're talking approximately 350 years. Then you had, that's when you had the Reformation during that. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Let me do this. See, when you go into these scriptures, you got to go into the history. Christians don't do that. When you go into certain prophetic scriptures or certain scriptures, you got to go. If you deal with the readings of the account of Yahushua and the disciples, you're going to have to have some understanding of the Roman Empire, because they were ruled by the Roman. They were a province of the Roman Empire. Because even the Caesars are mentioned in the scriptures. Rome is mentioned. There's a book called the Book of Romans. Okay, let me see. Where did I say I was going to go? Okay, the Reformation. The Reformation. That's not what I wanted. All right, come back. Reformation from the American Church. That's not what I want. Let me see. Reformation from the who started the Protestant Reformation? That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay, let me give you a year. All right, so it was the 15. Okay, Martin Luther. The Protestant Reformation began in Wittenberg, Germany, on October 31st, 1517. So that was in between. So we're talking the Inquisition took place, started at 1478, right? 78, 88, 98, 2008. So we're talking like 40 years in. Is when Martin Luther, a teacher and a monk. So they were all, Reformation means to reform the church. They didn't like certain things that the Catholic was teaching, so they reformed it. You have Vocab Malone. He would be a reformist. He would be a Calvinist, because John Calvin was as well as Martin Luther, were Catholics that disagreed with the Catholic doctrine. One of the things that they did was they took away the Apocrypha. The Roman Catholics deal with the Apocrypha. It says a teacher and a monk published a document he called Disputation on the Power of Indulgence, or 95 Theses. The document was a series of 95 ideas about Christianity that he invited people to debate with him. Ah, vocab likes to debate all the time. So that, and we said, he was one of them guys. He's probably John Calvin. But anyway, it was a break off from the Roman Catholic Church. So they still teach the Roman Catholic doctrines, but there were certain things that they took out. And then from there, you had the Lutheran Church, you had the you had the Baptist, all these different Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists. They all stem from the Roman Catholic Church, which back then they were forcing the people to accept. Let me come back over here. Right. How many Jews were killed in the Spanish Inquisition? Some estimates range from 3,000 to 5,000 total executions. Because if you didn't accept their doctrine, they put you to death. They tortured you. Sometimes they put you to death. They burnt you at the stake. But these executions would include other heretics. A heretic is somebody that does not go by the status quo, like Muslims and witches. So they said, oh, she's a witch. They burned her at the stake. And that goes into the scriptures, because you're committing adultery with the devil, the spiritual realm. So we got to burn you pursuant to the scriptures. And they killed Muslims as well and tortured them. So you had a lot of crypto Jews and a lot of crypto Moors, I guess the word is. So anyway, one of the things that the Roman Catholic Church, one of their beliefs is a hell. That if you're not right with the Most High, and you got the Caesar Borgia, the Sistine Chapel, God himself was a white man touching the finger, wearing a negligee, touching the finger of Adam, which was zesty as hell, and so part of that whole thing was hell, that if you ain't right, you're going to burn in hell. And this is what all these Protestants, these Calvinists, these Baptist, Methodist, whatever you want to call them, Jehovah's Witness, they believe you cease to exist. But most of these, your Sunday worship people, which is worshiping of the sun. That's why they said Sunday is their Sabbath. They all teach that in Christianity, in that form of Christianity, even the ones that broke off from the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church, the RCC, they all teach that there's a hell and you're going to burn in hell. So now, when I came to the school at One West, that wasn't taught. They said, no, you don't burn in hell. And then you study and you learn, and you realize that the lake of fire and so forth is this place, Babylon the Great, USA being destroyed by fire. And that's the lake of fire. It's nothing else. So every so many years, every maybe 2 years, I would say, every year and a half, 2 years, Yeshaya, one of the seven, the high priest Yeshaya, as his title was, he would sneak in the hell doctrine. and he would be brought to council, and he would get checked for it, mainly by High Priest Ariah. Then everything would be set, everything would be back in order, and then about a year, 2 years later, he would sneak it in there again, and he would have to get checked. Now, at that particular time, you got a guy that's teaching, sneaking in another doctrine, and he does it again. You're supposed to kick him out. See, that's why the school became such a shambles, because you were cool with people, Hey, when you're really in this truth, you really can't be cool with people. If you want to get technical, you got to be a loner, man. You got to go your own way. You can't try. You got to look at every brother as an insider. As an infiltrator. You got to look at every brother that you deal with. You got to look at him sideways. Anyway, so eventually, what happened? You had the split, which was wicked as hell, led by Bishop Nathaniel. He was the key. There's others, but y'all don't know these individuals anyway. But they all back in the world, or at least they're not on the highways and the byways. They don't have established schools and nothing like that. So I can't say, well, he has his YouTube page, and he was one of the main guy, the main character that was left from that split, which was a wicked, evil, demonic split, is the current guy that's still in this. He's that's Bishop Nathaniel, and he never went with that hell thing. Even in I was just looking at that. It says farmers across the U.S. reported outages after cyber attack. Yeah, this is gonna happen, and we know who's doing it. So anyway, he never taught that, and you had that whole mess with the Cornelius thing, But this is recent with the IUIC, because I caught wind to it 6 months, maybe 9 months ago, that they're teaching that there's an actual hell doctrine. I did videos on it, and I even showed clips of them saying that there's a hell that you burn forever, and Israel's going to burn in hell. So I thought at one time Bishop Nathaniel reversed that when he went to South Africa speaking to this woman, and that video is up on her page. If you go to IUIC in South Africa, you'll find a video. I don't know the name of her page, but I did videos on that as well where he actually makes the statement. I got him showing that he's making that statement. And he said, the lake of fire. He said, the lake of fire is America being on fire by Russians hitting this place with missiles. And he didn't say it's also an eternal hell. So I figured, okay, he came to his senses. But then I realized that he didn't come to his senses, and he's still teaching that there's an eternal hell. Actually, he was teaching it last night. He was pushing that hell thing. Another thing that he said was Baal. He mentioned Elijah did not, the 7,000 that did not bow to the knee of Baal. He said Baal is also the beast. Or he said Baal is the beast. And we were like, what? I said, so there's two beasts? There's two beasts? No, Baal is not the beast. Baal is just some demon. Baal is not the beast. And you didn't explain it. See, but it'll go over the heads of your people, because what do they see? They see the purple and the gold. They see the palatial school. They see the 3,000 men marching. They see these intros and introductions. On their videos. Everything is polished and look real professional. And that's what that's how you get a Jake. You take shit, put it in the box. You take something that's crap, you put it in a box, you put a bowl around it, you make it pretty on the outside. Yahushua said that about the wicked scribes and Pharisees. He spoke about the sepulchres, which are mausoleums today, how they're white and beautiful on the outside. That's in Matthew 23, and inside are dead men's bones. So it looks pretty from the outside, but there's death on the inside. So he got a spell over them people, man. Because I would have ran into a video back in 2005 when it was on YouTube. I would have ran into a video of 2006, 2007, 2008, 2010, 2014 of him mentioning hell as an actual place that Israelites go to. So I'm gonna take it that they wasn't teaching it back there. Oh, back there they wasn't teaching the new moon as the full moon. They started teaching it, led by him, and Kanai wasn't with it at first. That the new moon is the full moon. It was during the month of around October, November, actually October, I believe it was, 2016. And you know how I know? Because we immediately made counter videos against that. And we were the only Israelite group that did that, came against him teaching about the new moon is the full moon. So like I said, I don't know when he actually started teaching that hell is a place that people burn in forever, and Israelites burn too. So he's saying if you're not of the elect, or you fall off, you're going to hell forever. Forever. Excuse me. So I don't have to go into the details of hell, because I did videos on it. You know, if he comes up with what is that, Luke 16, the rich man and Lazarus, that's a parable. That's a parable. All right. Okay, so let me do this. Now the second thing that we got on him about that he mentioned last night was that you got to be in this truth. If you fall off, I'm sorry, you got to be in this truth. Ultimately, if you are a part of this truth, you're the elect. Oh no, he said we don't even know who the elect are, but they're out there, whatever. But he said, bottom line is, you got to be into this truth, and you got to be on the highways and the byways, and you all have to die. I didn't say it in his exact words, but that's what he said. Now he can say I never said that, morons, which he always does with the time of Jacob's trouble. He's telling the Benjamite brother that he passed. He said there's not going to be a Jacob's trouble. Then many years later, he said, if you listen to it, morons, I didn't say it. I said it was not going to be at that time. Well, there's videos out of him when he made the statement, there's no Jacob's trouble, and when he changed it up. Just like the MOTB. He changed that up. He said the MOTB represents corporations and countries. That has nothing to do with people. Now it's talking about people, but it's what is it? How do you say it? It's sin. It's sin. Now he got a new one in Job, and I believe he got it from me. Job, where it says that Job was set for a mark. I think I pulled that out in one of my scriptures. I'm not going to go to it. It's somewhere in Job. I believe it's Job 10. But I'm not going to go through it. So he got a new scripture backing up. Now he's got them saying a mantra. The mark of the beast is sin. Say it. The mark of the beast is sin. So, but like the new thing is, well, new to me, I don't know how long he's been teaching it, that all the elect have to die. And then they got to get raised up. He said all of y'all got to die. And he's pushing that to the people. He said, get ready to be put to death, because they're going to put all of us to death. They're going to put all of the chosen to death. There's not going to be one chosen left alive. There's not going to be one member of the elect left alive. Then he goes into Revelation 14, where it says, they that die in Yahushua, their works do follow them. So he says all of us are going to die. There's not going to be one of us remaining. The Israelites on the earth that's remaining are not of the elect. All of the elect is going to be. Oh, then he went into Revelation chapter 6, where he spoke about them that died and that complained to the Most High until their fellow servants joined them. He said, that's talking about now. We all got to die. All the elect got to, all the chosen got to die. Now, you can come and tell me that I'm a liar, but please don't take down that video. Because you can go watch the video. Everybody watch the video, man. So this is the scriptures speak about sound doctrine. Okay. Bear me for a minute. I want to find it. Okay, I got it right here. Okay, so this is I start the 4th verse. I'll read down to the 10th verse. Because this is not a sound doctrine. Hell is I'm gonna change the title a little bit. Hell is contrary to sound doctrine. Gave it another title, but I'm gonna change it up. Hell is contrary. The doctrine of hell is contrary to sound doctrine. So now let me just read this. I'm not going to make this too much longer. Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies. Fables is the hell. Hell is it's a fable, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith. So do. But the end of the commandment is charity out of a pure heart, a clean heart, and of a good conscience, and of faith unfeigned, from which some having swerved, you can look that word up, have turned aside unto vain jangling. Vain jangling. Let me look up the word jangling.
Strong's G 3150, Matayalagia. Matayalagia.
Matayalagia. Vain talking, empty talk. And that's what these churches do. They talk. There's empty talk. That's why there's dancing and singing and praise breaks. Especially black Christians. Black Christians do not study the Bible. They memorize a couple of precepts and they don't know how to explain it. The easiest person to debate is a Jake that's from a black church, because they don't understand the scripture. Now you got Edomites that do. You got some of them that do actually study. Jake doesn't know what's going on. They clueless. Okay, where am I? Let's come on back. Vain jangling. Desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say nor whereof they affirm. And the law is talking about the whole book. It extends to the whole book. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully. Knowing this first, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, to bring order, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and mothers, and murders of mothers, for man slayers, for whoremonger. Now the word whoremonger, monger means seller. Whore means you selling a woman, a pimp. Now the law is Israelite man cannot make his daughter a whore. He can't become a pimp, seller. It says, for them that defile themselves with mankind, you know what that means. For man stealers, which is a man, what is a man stealer? What is a man stealer? A slave dealer, kidnapper, man stealer, of one who and when these Edomites were putting us in slavery, they were all Christians. They were all Christians. Of what? That's why they said you're not even a man. You're 3/5 of a man. You're not even a man. So you're really like an animal. Of one who unjustly reduces free men to slavery. So Esau got a lot to pay for. Of one, that's why you got them Edomite Christians, and they appear to be Edomites. They come to the different camps, and they know the Gentiles can be saved too. And my father I never had slaves. My grandfather, no, they were, no. It says of one who steals the slaves of others and sells them, auctioning blocks. So he that leaves into captivity shall go into captivity. They're gonna be sold. It's gonna be Mandingo all over again, but change the faces. 12 years a slave all over again, but change the faces. Tenth verse again. For whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for man stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, liar, someone bearing false witness, which is lying on the person, and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine. The hell doctrine is contrary to sound doctrine. Sound meaning healthy. When you're sick, you're not sound. When you get better, you sound. With the last will and testament, I, so and such, being in how does it say, sound mind and sound body, meaning I'm in health. My brain, I'm not crazy. I'm going to give this to my children and give this to my lawyer, whatever the case may be. It says, according to the glorious gospel, and the gospel is ultimately the whole book of the blessed of power, which was committed to my trust. So who's speaking here? The Apostle Paul. He said the gospel was committed to his trust. So you got to teach it well. So now let's go from there to, because let me do this one. Okay, I don't want that yet. Okay, it says here, you got 3 precepts. Now this is going to this thing that the statement that Bishop Nathaniel said, that if you're of the elect, you're in this truth, you're teaching the word to the end, all of us is going to die. So you got to get are you ready, brothers? Are you ready to die? Are you ready, sisters? Are you ready to die? He's saying in order for you to make it to the kingdom of heaven, all the elect, all the ones that's in this truth and stay in this truth and faithful to the end, you got to die. Every last one of you, 100% of you got to die, which is clearly not scriptural. And I'm going to prove it right now with these scriptures. Fair words and fine speeches shall deceive the heart of the simple. Matthew 16, verse 28. Verily I say unto you, this is Yahweh speaking. If you go to the red letter. Matter of fact, let me do that. There it is, showing you that this is Yahweh speaking. There be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. What does that mean? That the disciples that were with him, some of them are going to be in this present world. It doesn't mean that they're going to live. There's not people around the world that are 2,000 some odd years old, that they just didn't die. This is reincarnation. This proves reincarnation anyway. You keep coming back, keep coming back, keep it generation after generation. So the generation that was with Yahushua is the generation that's here today. So, and the ones that have woken up are not all going to die. Some are going to die. That's Revelation 20, verse 4. Verily I say unto you, Mark 9 and 1, verily I say unto you, that there be some of them that stand here which shall not taste of death till they have seen the kingdom of the Most High come with power. When the kingdom of the Most High come with power, who's going to lead the kingdom? The Son of Man. Last precept, Luke 9, hang with me, I'm almost finished. Luke 9, verse 27. But I tell you of a truth, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death. They're not going to die. Meaning that generation is going to come back reincarnated in that body. So I don't know how many of the 12 is here among us. I don't know how many of the which prophets, ancient prophets, are here among us. But Jeremiah could be here. You might be talking to a brother not knowing that was Jeremiah. Or talking to another brother not knowing that was Isaiah. Or talking to another brother not knowing that was Matthew. Or Luke or John. Or Luke was not one of the 12, but he was one of the men of the Lord. Silas, Paul, whatever. Barnabas, whatever. Titus, Timothy. Some of them that fell off too. But I tell you of a truth, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see this kingdom of the Most High. Who's going to lead the kingdom to earth? It's Yahushua and the angels behind him. Like I said, it doesn't mean there's certain men out there. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. Just to see what the commentary says. Because they don't believe in reincarnation. Come on now. Okay. Okay, where the hell? Let me do it this way. Bear me for a minute. I normally go to Bible Hub. Okay, here we go. I normally go to Cambridge if it's here. And trust me, they're gonna break it down wrong. Because they don't understand or accept reincarnation. You see how short it is? Taste of death. The valiant never tasted death but once. Safi's version of this hard saying, and it's hard to you because you don't understand, indicates more plainly than the other synoptic gospels the personal presence of the Messiah. St. Mark has, till they have seen the kingdom of the Most High come with power. St. Luke, I'm sorry, see the kingdom, but the meaning in each case is the same various solutions are given. The expression is referred to: 1. The Transfiguration; 2. The day of Pentecost; the fall of Jerusalem, which is 70 A.D., and Yahushua didn't come back during that time. The last best fulfills the condition of interpretation: a judicial coming, a signal. You can see they don't know what they're talking about. An invisible event, and one that would happen in the lifetime of some, but not of all who are present. No, it's talking about now. I don't got to read the rest of these. That is die before they die. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read anymore. I don't have to. Okay. So write these down, memorize them. Matthew 16:28, Mark 9:1, Luke 9:27. Here's another one. I'm gonna close on this. It says those who die in the Messiah. Revelation 14 says their works do follow them. Right. This is going to prove that most of the believers, the true believers, the elect, the people that's pushing the word, mainly the men, but we're talking about the women and the children because they're part of the elect, they're going to be alive. So it says here in 1 Thessalonians, right, 4 and 13. But I would not have you ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the word there is Kairos, which is our superior, that we which are alive and remain. When Paul says the we, he's including himself, right? So it's talking about the believers, we the believers. So some of us are going to be here on the earth when the Lord come back, and remain unto the coming of Yahushua shall not prevent them which are asleep. What does it mean, which them which are asleep? The ones that died in this thing, Mashah, Yaquab, Abba, other saints that have died. We had certain individuals that died that was part of GMS. There's certain individuals that died that were part of IUIC. And you don't get all messed up about it, you know? It says, for Yahweh himself shall descend, or Yahushua himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, the seventh trumpet being blown at the last trump. That's him coming with the gigantic ship to deliver the elect, and the angels right behind him is Michael and the rest of the innumerable amount of angels. That's innumerable. That's a tongue twister for me. Angels. So the angels are going to cover the earth. Matthew 24, from one end of heaven to the other, and they shall gather together the elect within the four corners of the earth. So you're going to have elect scattered in different countries. It says, with the voice of the archangel and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in the Yahushua shall rise first. So wait a minute. That's showing you right there that the believers, the elect, the chosen, are going to be alive. Some of them are going to be dead. Then Paul is talking about the ones that are alive. The first ones is going to be risen You're gonna see Abba. You're gonna see Marshall. You're gonna see all these Yaquab, all these saints that died in the past. They're gonna come up out of them graves. Then we which are alive and remain shall be what? Caught up together with them in the clouds. The clouds represent what? The chariots of Israel. To meet Yahweh Shai in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Meaning, that's the kingdom. Because as we're being lifted up, beamed up, pursuant to what, there's many scriptures that come to mind, but the main one is Revelation chapter 11 and Revelation 18 and 4. Come up hither. So when we come up, it's going to be all good. We're going to get our body's going to be changed. When we go into that ship, our body's going to have to be changed to go into that ship. Because there's going to be a different atmosphere in that ship. So you're going to have that what do you call it? Extraterrestrial, spiritual, angelic body. So we're going to be angels in bodies, because the kingdom is going to play out on the earth, but we're going to be angelic bodies in flesh. So we'll be able to eat, we'll be able to sleep, we'll be able to have sex, we'll be able to do things that we're going to be like superheroes, you can understand. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. So somebody needs to, if one of you window shoppers from IUIC watching this, snuck to watch this video, please send this video to Bishop Nathaniel, because I disprove what he said. He said all of us going to die. So I said, well, how can you explain this? And I'm pretty sure Apostle Gabar is going to do a video, and if he's not doing it right now, because we said, look, we got to do a video on this. We damn near was going to do a video right when he was. Let's pull the car over, brother. Let's do a video right now. On the way, we're doing the video. But I just showed you, and see, his people, they're not gonna question him, because they don't want to lose that status. Like I said, they're not. I said this in previous videos. They're nothing like the Church of Berea. The Apostle Paul loved the Church of Berea because they double checked everything that he said. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.